Mic check, mic check. All right, hopefully we're working. we got we got sound, but I got to make sure our stream isn't glitching right now. I'm getting a little bit of lag, so I might have to restart. So give me a second. I guess I'm not lagging, so that's good. All right, I just have to make sure we're not lagging. Just a couple of adjustments. Just give me a second here. Just everything moves a little bit slower sometimes because I'm having just a little bit of trouble at home. Hopefully, I tried to beef up the quality of the stream, so I've added a 1080 feed, so it's a little bit more crispy, so you can read stuff on the screen a little bit better. I'm still out. I'm still out to figuring out. I'm still up in the air about how whether I want to keep this resolution or not, because it, like I said, it does take a lot out of the computer stream power, so it can slow things down, make things laggy. So let me just here. I'm kind of slow this morning too, man. I can't. I just gotta fix this filter here. Hold on. See just a little tiny problem with the filter. Oh boy. Boy, that's bad there. Sorry, guys. This kind of happens sometimes. There's a little bit of fix there, a little bit of fix there. I need to just get rid of the get rid of the green screen is what I need to do. It looks good on the monitor, but it doesn't look good on the. All right, we'll get her going because I'm already a little bit late, so I'll make sure I go. I'll just fix things as I'm moving along here. I just don't want to be messing up your screen. So I'll work along now. So world. So I've got a lot of things going on that are different from class to class. Sociology, you guys are starting to look at. You guys are looking at socioeconomics, and you're looking at right now a different couple of different profiles. So you guys were checking out a story about a person that I really kind of envy. I envy. I don't envy her. I respect her because of what she's able to do, and that's the story of Tammy Crabtree. So while you guys were, hopefully, you were able to check out her story, and you're waiting for the part two of Tammy Crabtree. But Tammy Crabtree is a is an interesting person. She, of course, is got a lot of things going against her. And the one thing I want you to think about when you think about Tammy's story, is I want you to think about that original lesson on Collier's traps and how we applied it to world history. How we applied it to global issues, and how you can basically take that same filter and um, you can apply it to a person of. Let me get that. That's my filter here. You can apply it to a person that lives next door. I mean, you can apply it to an American neighborhood. You can apply it to basically, any example. There we go. Pan that. Well, that's nasty over there. I think that's this light more than anything. Hold on here, guys. I am still fighting some things. That's a little bit better right there. My poor cameras. Hold on. All right, guys. It's tough doing this stuff sometimes. All right, so let's get right to it. I'm not messing with my adjustments anymore here. I told you it was taking me forever to get going this morning, but oh boy, that's terrible. I'm just looking at my I'm just looking at my settings. It's so bad. Oh boy. One more adjustment here. A little color correction. Darken that there. See, you can see that background right there, and then I can. Boy, that light. My lights are terrible today. Boy, she just does not want to fix. Here, I'm gonna just make me small and stick me in the corner. I'm getting us some serious shadows. let's just go like that. All right, there we go. We're just gonna leave it there. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move to. I'm gonna go ahead and move to some of the material that we were covering today. So I'm gonna pop it over to. And if you are on, please check out the chat stream. If you have not ever chatted before, or if you are basically wanting to ask a question, please just type in the chat your question. Okay. Um, let's see, top chat, live chat. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So in week three, and I'm just going to pop it down to the video profile, the 1%. You have a contrast for sure. The 1% basically looks at your your super billionaire, and 1% refers to that. It refers to that 1% of the population that that has extreme wealth in America, and those are people that are like your Bill Gateses, your Steve Bezos, Amazon, and then you got this guy named Jamie Johnson. He is the heir to the Johnson and Johnson company. Johnson and Johnson is a company that pretty much makes everything. They so right now Johnson and Johnson produces hand sanitizer. They produce paper products. They produce things down to Q-tips, baby oil, baby wipes, diapers. They produce pretty much everything that you would need as a consumer um, in America, and they hold massive amounts. If you think about it, they own massive amounts of power because of that. And so the Johnson and Johnson company is a very large company that's family owned, and Jamie Johnson is one of those family members. And in his video, he basically asks a question. Um, you know, you know, why should somebody like me have this kind that holds this kind of wealth and power? He basically looks at the fairness of it. That it's that it's not fair that Americans, um, other Americans that are less privileged, um, basically receive less out of the world than he does, and he basically argues that point throughout the video, throughout the movie, and so that's the this is that's coming from there. TV over there. Here we go. So so that's kind of that story. So what I wanted you to look for inside of the Jamie Johnson story was what were the different profiles that he created. So he looked at wealth in general. He was looking at different people. He looked at different areas. He went into the lumber industry. He went into the sugar industry. He went into the super wealthy, the investment bankers, by profiling one of Warren Buffett's grandchildren. So he went quite extensively into the topic, into the study. Guys. I'm a perfectionist. I'm still messing with still messing with the screen. I know I got to stop it. I'm obsessed, guys. I am obsessed with perfection. I apologize. Trying to all I'm trying to do is get that little. Ooh, there we go. I got some of it out of there. There we go. Yeah, that's not bad. There we go. We're gonna close it right there. All right. So so that's that. Let me go ahead here. I wanna also send out a. I'm also gonna send out a tweet. So let me do that really quick. I just want to put our stream out there. what the stream key is for today. The stream key applies to everybody. So when you're looking for this specific live stream, you can find it on Twitter. There we go. I'll tweet that key out there. Alrighty. But I apologize for being late. We don't, sociology doesn't have a whole lot for me to really hit. So I'm just kind of, I want to basically just touch on those two simple video profiles that you were supposed to look at today. So let's go back to that. So what I asked you in that assignment, let's look at the 1% really quick. Look at that specific assignment. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Hopefully everybody is having success. Oh, chat is closed. Why is my chat closed? Oh boy. Hold on here. Because I do not have it open. Let's put it now. Oh man. Here guys, let me get the chat up. I did not know I didn't have a chat stream that was active. Let's copy that. Let's go here. Hopefully we've got a chat pop up there. Chat is disabled. Oh, maybe. Oh, okay. I think I have to make it live in the control room. All right, let's liven it up here. Let's see if that helps. If I make it unlisted, it still should show up. Maybe not. Let's pop it back out here. See what happens. Guys, I apologize. You sociology kids, man, you're getting on the bad end of the deal today. It says my chat is disabled. Hold on here. Let's make it public. Hmm. Let's see properties. I'm just trying to see if I can get my chat live. this one. Let's see what that one looks like. I can get that one live on here. There we go. Something just showed up. There we go. Looks like we got a live chat now. All right. All right. We're going to leave it there. Hopefully we can chat stream. Should be good. All right. Let's make sure. Just want to make sure we're good. All right. Okay. So hopefully you have a working chat. Gosh, 20 minutes later. All right. All right. Okay. So getting back into the topic of Tammy. Let's go back into her. So, but here's the 1%, and in really on this assignment, it was quite simple. I just wanted us to look at this profile, and you can see this is this picture here of Jamie Johnson's dad. Throughout the entire video, he's kind of like in pain and suffering because I think he can feel what his son is basically going through. He goes through the same thing growing up, and they even profile in his example that as he was growing up, he made a similar video, and he looked at poverty in South Africa while his son is looking at poverty in America. So I think there was a parallel with him and his dad that they were trying to run. And I believe his dad was playing along with the video. I think they were having some. They both have, and many very super wealthy people have. They have no choice. Of course, once you're in the family business, you're in the family business. Some people say they do have a choice, but you're kind of don't. You're stuck in the fact that that's how you make your livelihood, and you have to come to grips with that. And that's kind of what Jamie Johnson does throughout the story, is coming to grips with his problem, which is extreme wealth. Most of us, we would not struggle with that problem, but we make it seem like they that they don't have a real world life outside of what we see. So hold on, let me just go over here. I'm just got to throw on something. There we go. I just want to see what's running on there. Good. I just want to make sure the thumbnail's up. That's supposed to be up. So, anyways, I asked a couple of questions of you on that theme. I talked a little bit about what were some of the themes that they were discussing. Well, they discussed a lot of different themes. Themes within the video were the idea of that wealth can be thrust upon you. Wealth can be looked upon as being given as a kind of a, I guess you could say, a divine right. One of the profiled people basically looked at that as a divine, some kind of divine right. And then the other two profiles, they looked at it as being inevitable. They looked at the fact that as as the world changes, so does the nature of how wealth and extreme poverty are going to interact. So there was a couple of different themes that I wanted you to look for, and that's what I meant by theme. Uh, and yes, what did immediately come to your mind? Um, what what are the stark differences between the super rich and the super poor? And that's really what I wanted you to think about when you were answering those questions. Why did Jamie Johnson make the film in the first place? And I talked a little bit about that. I looked at the fact that he was trying to come to grips with his own maybe guilt, I guess you could say. Sometimes there's a guilt associated with this with being extremely wealthy. It's hard to talk about because it's I make it sound like it's some kind of disability, and in America, you know we it's hard to understand that that in from that perspective. So all right. Anyway, so that was the assignment. That the first assignment. It says just create that Google Doc, talk a little bit about the themes of that video, okay? And hopefully you enjoyed it. I think it actually kind of gets you to think. It's a really good what I call a think piece. Okay, so it's a thought piece, a thought provoking piece of visual art. All right. What is Jamie Johnson doing today? I suggest you look up his profile on Twitter. Look at him on Wikipedia. He's actively involved in issues of people. He is a filmmaker, I guess, and he's definitely made a lot of his fame from this specific film, the 1%. All right. Let's look at profile two really quick. So in profile two, I discussed with you. Let me go ahead and go back to the this module here. All right. So in assignment two, it was application of Collier's traps. In when it oops, sorry, right. Application of Collier's traps, but not the investigation, but in the video profile of Tammy. So hold on, we get Tammy's reaction part one. I'm going to be putting up Tammy's reaction or Tammy's story part two next week. So, but this is the picture you get, and of course, I think on the internet, you get basically it starts out. Let me just go ahead and push play really quick. The profile of Tammy starts with this image right here. Come on here. I thought I could play it. I just want that first aerial right there. I just want those first couple seconds right there. This is what you're given right here at the very beginning of the video. And one of the usually when I have kids look at this picture, when I ask them questions about it, I usually ask the question, it is is she actually renting this place, or is she basically squatting on it, meaning that it's just she's basically illegally living in it? Because I can't imagine that you could actually pay rent for this house. And when she walks you through it, she goes through the the different rooms. I mean, it does not have a furnace. The toilet is basically laying out in the front yard. I mean, it's a non-functional house. I don't know if there's running water moving to it. I'm guessing it does have running water, but we kind of begin. We begin with this profile right here, and it's very stark. It's very and when you think about it, I wanted you to think about it in the fact that could you apply Paul Collier's traps to it? And then of course, I gave you some links to it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Collier's traps to kind of refresh that. Paul Collier's traps consisted of is there conflict in that area? So if you want to look at conflict, meaning so you'd have to put it from the perspective of Indiana, the central Indiana. Conflict meaning is there stuff that's there distracting you from your goals? I would say conflict in this example would not be, it's not like she lives in a neighborhood with a lot of crime. At least we don't look at it that way. So it would be something like that. If we could look at conflict, natural or net resources, I would say that there's resources here, but they're scarce. And it depends on if you have money. Of course, resources are based on your ability to create wealth, to purchase resources. I mean, there's plenty of resources if you have money. The next of Collier's traps was landlocked. Is she landlocked? Think about the United States. Think about where Indiana is in the Central Plain states. And Indiana is more towards the north and a little bit east of the Mississippi River. But Indiana is, it's considered to be, kind of in a way it's landlocked. It's, crap. There's no oceans nearby, and it's surrounded by neighboring states. So landlockedness. The other one is bad government. I would say, from the perspective of Collier's traps, if we looked at Tammy's story, we would look at say the local government of the town she lives in, and they don't give us the name of this town. I think they might do. Yeah, I think they do that actually. Hold on here. Let me just go back. I think it says where she's at when it's just Tammy's story. Waverly, Ohio. So that's the location right there. So we would have to look at Waverly. And if I wanted to do that, I could do a quick check on my phone, and look at what is it like in Waverly, Ohio. So if we wanted to, I could go ahead and do a quick check. We got time. I spent half of your time trying to set up. I'm gonna look at Waverly, Ohio. Oh, spelt that wrong, but I'm sure it'll find it for me. There we go. So here's Waverly, Ohio. And there's a map of Ohio right here. Just keep here we go. So if we look on this map, Waverly, Ohio, is right in the center of the map. It's one of the counties it's in southern Ohio. The biggest cities in Ohio, like Cleveland, are way up here on Lake Erie. So it is pretty much as far from what we would consider to be civilization, I guess, when it comes to this place. Let's see. Let's get some history here. Let's see. 4,000 people. Um, It says most residents are employed in the town's 60 retail businesses, 40 healthcare and social service agencies. So it's it doesn't that's not a very powerful that's not a very powerful uh, description of a city, where you're pretty much your primary businesses are social service related. So anyway, I just thought that that would be interesting to just check out really quick. But that's there's not a lot of what I would consider to be big positive deep history for Ohio's Waverly residents. So I guess small town is what you'd look at it. So yeah, it's landlocked in the fact that it's in the middle of Ohio. The resources are limited to what you can basically do in as a single mother. So let's start looking at her predicament really quick. So one of the things that the story talks about, is her relationship with her children. And if you go into it, there's another great. I'm just clicking through this puppy. There's what it looks like around this, and there's her boys, Matt, um, the main son there, and he basically is very critical of his mom. I'm sure he's embarrassed of his living situation, but he seems like he tries to overcome it with basic what he believes is achievement. Um, he does have dreams, and that's kind of the thing I want you to focus on. Or what are her dreams? Are her dreams attainable? Those kinds of things. I think one of the themes she talks about in the story is her dream to be a school teacher. Um, and the one of the problems, of course, working, be her primary job is being a Burger King basically cleanup person. Um, the possibility of her moving out of that predicament, not being basically being alone, having two children basically to care for. And she talks about her family life, that she was from one of 20 children or 22 children in a very large family. So there's a lot of things working against her socioeconomically. And yeah, what I do want you to look at with her profile is what is success for a person like her. Okay, so what does it mean to be successful? It says one question for the video: how do Collier's traps apply to Tammy's situation? Use all four traps in your answer. Okay, and then we'll look at the final. I'll look at the final video clip. We get to see a profile of Tammy just a few years later. Um, and I think this is from 2001, and we get to see her in 2013. So it's it's very odd that you have the ability to go back into somebody's life almost over a little over 10 years later to find out how they progressed. So it's kind of an interesting story, but it helps us understand the two sides of basically the coin that we're looking at. All right. Okay, so let's see here. So if you are able to, you can type in the chat. I'm gonna double check mine here. I think it says the chat's disabled. I think you can type into it. Hold on there. Yeah, it's popping up for me. Let me see here. Um, so looking at Tammy, let's say, what is her future? So what is it? What does it look like? You know, so that's kind of what I want us to think about when we think about Tammy. And she's like to the other side. We went to the super wealthy. Now we have America's super poor. Now, one of the things that I want to kind of end with here, when it comes to Tammy's story, is 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 that this is pretty much it. This is pretty much what I consider to be the depth of poverty in America. And does that how does that compute, or how does that compare to other places around the world? To a lot of people, they look at Tammy and the way she's able to live and work and the things that her kids can have, uh, and she would still be basically above probably 5 billion people on the planet. Um, I forget how many people live in poverty in the world, and she is relatively, whether say she makes $12,000 in a single year. She probably makes more than that. More than likely today, she's making about 20. Okay, something like that. Even working part time, more than likely she's working full time minimum wage. Um, but we consider that in our society anything below 35,000 as being poverty. And there's places in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, that are people are living on less than $1 a single every day. So less than what, $1,000 a year, something like that. All right. So, any questions that anybody has, any questions that you can put up, I would be grateful to answer. I would, if you want to add to the comments, you may ask questions within the comment section of this video. Let me look at. So last week video, this was last week's right here. Um, One of the things, hopefully, that I'm getting in your comments, I'm going to double check through that. Let me go ahead and stop that there. And uh, anyway, but hopefully hopefully, holy crap, I've had a tough start this morning. Sorry about that, guys. But if you are having trouble, if you are having issues, please, I've been really good at answering pretty much all the questions that have come through. Um, we always start out with sociology. I'm thinking by next week, I'll be back in my classroom. So this will go a little bit smoother, because every time I come into my home studio, I'm constantly fidgeting with things because I'm changing it all the time. Remember, I put this thing together last week, kind of like just threw it together. So it should have been everything should have been working like a clockwork. So all right. So please contact me if you have any trouble. If you're having trouble with how do you look at these assignments. We're moving towards, like I said, we're going to be doing in the next little bit, where we're going to be doing the second installment of Tammy. Let's look at the web page really quick. Remember, everything revolves around the web page. So let's go in here. I'm going to go into stratification. One of the things I have not done is I have not gone through the notes with you, so I'm probably going to have an assignment that's geared towards the notes. just to make sure we get all of the terminology. I suggested that you look into some of these video shorts here. There's one. There's part of the series down here is on what poverty basically is from a conservative and a more liberal platform. This is actually right here. This is an interesting video here. I suggest you check out. And this one right here, this TED Talk. These two. This guy's a billionaire that suggests that he pays way too little taxes, and he thinks that the wealthy should pay way more. This guy here talks about what poverty is in the world, and that's really a good video. Maybe I'll assign this video clip here. But this guy right here, we just put this video up right here, and this guy here basically looks at the topic of global poverty, and 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 he's dealing with and looking at the issue of social inequality. And he puts up some pretty interesting charts. And these are hold on here. These charts are they're plot charts. Hold on here if I can get this thing down here. These are plot charts that look at like quality of life and those kinds of things. So if you're having trouble looking for information about your country, he goes through and he labels a lot of the countries. And if you look on this list, about it says index of health and social problems, that the United States is way up here at the top, and then the amount of income inequality between the richest and the poorest people. That in this chart, he basically makes the claim that because we are so diverse from one side of the wealth spectrum to the other, that we have more health problems as a result. That there's more people unhealthy. The one thing he doesn't look at is population. We are the largest country of population on this whole list. So anyway, but anyways, what I want you to do is I look at those types of examples. This guy's pretty interesting. So there are some good examples out here. This guy here, or this series here, this is the Prager Institute. This is a conservative consortium of so this guy's asking this video is saying what's the best way to help people out of poverty. What should you do? What is the best method? So this gets into philosophy. So check those out. Those are some really interesting videos looking at the issue of poverty. And I put them all in there so we'd have a balance of those two ideas. And if you have not checked out Michelle Sweeney down here, let's go ahead and throw her up really quick. And you can see that I have the closed captioning on, which really helps. So you can basically whip through this video without having the sound on. You can basically play it on your phone. But she's talking about the reasons why. Why is there stratification? Why is there this gap? Okay, why doesn't everybody have the same? That kind of thing. So she talks a little bit about that. Remember, we're sociology. We're not trying to answer the question as much we're trying to basically investigate the question itself. And that's really what I love about sociology as a topic. So, alrighty. Okay, so guys, I'm going to end it right there. I really apologize for the first 25 minutes that I was not prepared. Well, I was, but I was having these technical difficulties, and they're stupid technical difficulties that I can easily fix. So, one is by going back to school and doing my live stream from school, which makes it way easier. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. I hope everybody's doing okay. My family's doing good. I hope your family's doing fine. I hope we're slowly seeing some answers to this plague that we're in the middle of. I think this is really a good study in sociology, what we're seeing, what people are able to do. And I'll give you a great example is internet. Think about how important it is today, right this minute, to have the internet available to you and your family. If you were not able to, and I have kids that are struggling right now to be able to do the things that I'm asking them to do because of availability. the internet. And that's is that fair? And that's really what the question we've been looking at is, from people that have every means, meaning that they all have their own Chromebooks and everybody basically can do all these assignments with getting help from their parents, or maybe they even pay for tutors. Some kids are just struggling through it. Some people basically are struggling to just get the technology to work. So that is a question that can be asked and assessed through this unit. Okay, so think about those things as we're finishing up. We definitely will go through the notes. I notes one and notes two. I'm going to probably have to give us next week an assignment looking at those notes sections. Um, I'm trying to find ways to do it um, without having to have us do a lot of busy work. So what I'll do is I'll probably gel it, or kind of bring it together with something very simple. So just look for that. So notes one and notes two. Remember, notes one is all about the big picture. So if I open up notes one, the theme of notes one are global stratification. Okay, the big picture of the global issues. Okay. Um, notes notes two basically looks at the stratification in America. So it looks at modern society. So all this stuff in here looks at basically things, but it looks at it from a micro standpoint. Okay. Um, the United States basically dividing our social class into income levels. This is another thing I want you to check out. Look at what we call the transitional poverty, marginal poverty, residual poverty, absolute poverty, and relative poverty. I'm going to talk about those things next Tuesday as we're trying to finish things up. I'm going to go through those ideas. I'm going to go through the terminology on before we take the test. So that would be next Tuesday. Let's see, we got one more week when we'd be working for the test on maybe that Friday. And the Friday test will be a typical quiz. It'll be I don't think any more than 15 questions, that kind of thing. Things that you're used to. All right, guys, it's 10:05. I'm going to have to switch over to U.S. history. So I appreciate you. I thank you guys for popping in. I apologize for my morning technical difficulties, my tardiness. I did not mean to. I did not get guys. I got up early enough to fix all these problems, and I still didn't get them fixed. Technology is a bear sometimes. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. But we'll see you on Tuesday. Please ask questions. I haven't gotten many questions from the sociology kids. I think you guys got everything pretty much handled, which is really good. But we're going to finish strong. We're going to get through all the material that I normally get through during this time. We should have enough time to actually start, I think, the next unit. And that unit is on gender, race, and gender, age, and race. So we're going to look at those things: ageism, racism, and gender issues. So, all right. So thank you very much. Ask questions, ask good questions, keep in communication, and we can pretty much solve every problem. Later, and bye. All right, here we go. Looks like my encode. Oh man, that hmm. I'm gonna have to probably turn down. It seems like this works out really good, but I think I'm gonna have to turn down my some of the features I've got on this stream here. As much as I have as far as encoding, seems like I'm overloading here a little bit. All right, guys. Good to see you. A little bit of technical glitching going on today. It's all my fault. And sometimes that happens when you're working with technology. It just sometimes it works. I have to always look at my stream health there, and it's red. That's not good. Um, Hopefully that will switch out a little bit. I went from 720 to 1080, and I think I'm gonna have to go back to 720, which is the way I had it. It takes a lot of computing power to run a live stream with with that resolution. So I'm gonna have to probably turn it. I'm gonna probably have to drop it down a little bit. I should be able to do it. That's the thing. I probably just have to just readjust, realign. So I'm just going to do a quick stream test here. Double checking here my monitor. Hold on. Yeah, it seems like it's okay. All right. All right. I had to check my video coming through. So far so good. All right. Still saying I've got red stream health, which is not good. But we are moving. It is working. Double checking. All right. So U.S. history. Here we go. Here we go for U.S. history. Um, I got a lot of questions this week for U.S. history, so let's go down. Let's go down through the assignment. Let's look at the new unit. Let's get a quick introduction. So we're going to be looking at in the next few weeks. We're going to be looking at the issues of that came and evolved around the Civil rights. Oh my lord, Vietnam War and civil rights. So hey, Emily, how you doing? Let's see about Unit 7 test. Are we allowed to retake that? Yes, you can retake that. Yes, you can retake the unit test. So I have no idea why you just got timed out there, Emily. You shouldn't be. You're not spamming. So, so yes, to answer your question, just give it a minute here. Let me just see. Here, let me make you a moderator, and that'll fix that. All right. Okay, you'll be back on in just a second. But but yeah, we can retake the last test. So a lot of you guys that have asked me that question, just what I need you to do, and I think I've had a lot of kids ask me is yes during my stream. It's hard for me to do that stuff though. So yeah, you're gonna have to wait and be patient. And is when I finish up here at just before noon, you're going to be able to ask those questions, and I will take care of that. So let's see. I have no idea why the heck it timed you out. Oh boy, that is weird. But Emily got kicked out, and I have no idea why. She didn't do anything bad. Sorry, Emily. But I did get your question. So so yes, if you need to retake the test now, I have had a lot of kids that they're telling me this or that when they took the test. Guys, make sure you're taking the test where you're supposed to take the test. If you overtime it, it will turn off on you. It's a time test. It doesn't allow you forever to take it. So you're not able to look everything up. You can look up some things. Obviously, I know kids are doing that, but you're not going to be able to look everything up. You're going to have to basically have a base knowledge going into that test. And make sure you're using those resources. I gave to you guys uh, those 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 two big study items. Go through the entire Quizlet, and then make sure that you watch the video. If you watched my review video, I went over every single test question on the review video. And a lot of you guys do not listen sometimes to my advice. And if I give you advice, I'm not giving it to you because I'm just, you know, making stuff up. So please do that. Make sure you get through that. I know it's tougher without having me there every day. And yes, but you can take that test 100 times. Okay. So let's go ahead and, yeah, just send me a message as soon as we're done with the stream here. I thought, I, 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 maybe I can get Emily in here right now. I just don't want to use all our time. I just don't want to use all our time, typing things in because it's, let me go here. But I'm going to open up, the test for you right now, Emily. I think I can do it really quick. Let's see here. Quizzes. So this is the Cold War test right here. And let me go down to the bottom here. There's Emily right there. All right. Nope. All right. So there we go. So I think you should be unlocked there, Emily. Go ahead and take care of that. So you can take the test. All right. Okay, so a couple of things about the new unit. First of all, I'm basically putting two things together. I'm putting the civil rights movement all the way together with the Vietnam War. Why? Because they go together very well. Okay, kind of like peanut butter and chocolate, I guess. I don't know. But they work together well. Within the civil rights movement, you had the seeds of the anger that existed within people going to in the inequality of the Vietnam War, because in the Vietnam War, basically the Vietnam War was fought by poor guys and minorities, and if you have a war that basically is that divisive, you get lots of issues. And of course, before that, you had the laws that were being changed as a result of the movement that was started in the late 1950s. So we'll look at some of that stuff. Um, but if you look down in this section down here where it says significant civil rights legislation, you've got the 14th Amendment. You got the 15th Amendment that in 1870. You got Brown versus Topeka in 1954, which kind of really pushes things forward. You've got the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which are all part of the 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 story. So thank you. Somebody's calling me. I wonder if I should answer that. All right, let's answer this phone call. Let's see if it's a fun one. Hello? Yes. Yes. Yes, if it's possible. Okay. That's fine. Perfect. So yeah, I'm live streaming right now. That's why I'm doing it. So as soon as you can get the tech out here to up my stream, I can stream in 1080p and not have massive issues that I'm having. Put me on the schedule. 8 to noon is fine. Hey, um, no, we're healthy. We actually just got cleared for that, so we're good. Yeah, we had a little scare there. So, is there any? I'm all right. Can now that you're just the technical support person, right? Oh, customer service. I'm probably going to get rid of my TV. Is what I'm going to probably end up doing. I'm just going to be all internet. Is what my if that can you arrange that as part of this tech? Uh, I can wait then. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna. I think we're. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, yes. No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Not this very second. I'll get back to him. I'm gonna probably have to do that. Okay. Ok- Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. You too. Bye bye. All right. There we go. All right. That's gonna solve our problem right there, guys. All right. Right there. We're gonna have gigabyte service coming to my house, and we'll be able to run a 1080 stream without any trouble. All right. Um. So so man, we're gonna be so fast. All right. Maybe I won't do my live streams at work. So anyway, getting back to the civil rights. So what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks with the U.S. History kids is I'm going to be putting in a an assignment that is going to be based on the Vietnam War, which is what I did. So expect this week one more assignment to come, and that assignment is going to be civil rights related. I'm just going to go right down this list right here. I want to start asking you questions. I want to ask you and talk to you about these specific legislation changes. I'm also going to look through this material right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on this PowerPoint where it says Civil Rights Chronology, and this is going to be where we're going to be giving. You're going to be um, helping me and you understand the specific those specific issues. So this is a really good PowerPoint of material. It is really well put together. It talks about the protest movements, different court decisions, and I think it's done simply too. It's done in a simple way. So some of this stuff is going to be familiar with to you guys because we covered the Harlem Renaissance. So those things are going to be really simple, but it does it thematically. So a lot of it's just going to be review. And down here, let's see, it's running kind of wonky right now. Hold on here. Oh boy, here we go. Another phone call. Hold on. Another customer service related one. Hello. Hello. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Yep. No none of us are going anywhere. You got us we're locked down pretty much, so we're not really, but yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for thank you. Bye-bye. All right. There we go. All right. So these slides are going to be very helpful in navigating the little section that I want us to cover. So just now this right here, this is running as a guys. This is running as a PowerPoint. I'm going to fix that. I've got a PDF version of it which runs way better. So a PDF just means that it's basically it's turned into an image document. So you're not going to have to interact with PowerPoint. So just know that. So inside of, I'm going to change that link. So let me do that for you right now. But I'm going to, but just expect this week that I'm going to bring in one more assignment, and it's going to be a review of the Harlem Renaissance, but I'd rather it not be. Um, I'd rather it be something that is connecting directly to the Vietnam War, and the big issue during that time is social inequality. That all Americans are looking at the idea of being an American. What is it to be an American? What does it mean to serve America? Say you're being asked by your government to serve in the form of the form of a soldier in the military. What how does that relationship between you and your government change as a result of that? Okay, so, and I think it does. I think that if you're asked to do things as a regular citizen, then you should be treated. Oh, so hey, Emily, thank you for let's see, Emily, 10-minute peppers. Said there's a specific way to retake it or a time that has to pass. It seems to be able to get it to work. It should be. Let's see. Oh, good, you got it. Thank you, Emily. Yeah, and I appreciate you popping in, Emily. This is a good time for me to get with you. So she just had to take a test. I appreciate that. Her doing that for herself. So let's go to here. I'm gonna see to make sure I got a PDF of that. Hold on. I'm gonna shut that. I'm gonna shut that PowerPoint down. It sucks a lot of. It doesn't allow us to flow through it. I'll show you. I'll give you an example. Okay, just give me a chance here. So I'm gonna go into my drive. This is my school drive, and I have all these documents available to you. Um, Here, I'm gonna go ahead and log in to my blog site. Make sure that we're logged into that. My wife just popped in with another coffee. She knows that I've got a long morning with the live streams. I really appreciate that. Isn't it wonderful how our relationships are getting better with people as a result of this? Because we're forced to basically to hang out with your parents or your siblings that much more. But if you are struggling through this, for example, say you're having trouble with your computer, guys. I understand that. So what we need to do possibly is get you in a Chromebook. If you're in a Chromebook, it keeps you from getting into places where things don't work. You can still easily get my live streams with a Chromebook. It takes a lot of the old computer problems out. Just to give you an idea, though, I'm running this show here on two 10-year-old computers. Both of these computers were made in 2010, so they're really old. That's 9 years old, guys. Most of you guys have trouble remembering 2010, but you can use old technology. Old tech will work for you. All right, let's go here. Go visit my site. All right, I had to log in because if I do a change, which I want to do, I like to change things if I can, like right away. So I'm opening up the Vietnam unit, and this allows me to go into the menus and settings and things like that. And then I'm going to go into here. So this is the way I've got all my files for you guys, and I have a whole file that's U.S. history, uh, and it was put together in 2015. Isn't that cool? Huh? I was back when I first started at Pineview. Okay, here's the timeline assignment. I'm going to get to that timeline assignment in just a second. You see my redacted document here for you guys? Oh, that was nice of me, huh? Um, but let me go to the PowerPoint for that. Go to, let's see, civil rights, Vietnam right here. All right, I believe I already did make let's see, Vietnam. Anything that says PDF is good. PDFs are fast. Let's see, PDF, Vietnam War, civil rights down here. Come on, Mr. Goebel. You better have made a PDF of the Vietnam War introduction. That's a really good presentation there. All right. I did not, so I need to do that right now. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to make a PDF and put that up because I need that. We need that as a class. So you're not supposed to touch your face, and I keep itching my nose. All right. So let's go down here. We are going to do a little bit of reading too. I'm going to ask you to read a story. I'm actually thinking about reading it to you too online. I might do that. Maybe I'll do both. Okay, so this is the one here. It's a Google. Now, If I do leave a file up, this is the one I should leave up. It is the Google version of the PowerPoint that you were just looking at. I'm going to print this. So I'm going to create a PDF. Now, if you ever want to make a document that flows really good on the internet, you want to change it to a PDF. So you push your print icon, and it gives me a preview, and I'm going to print it as a PDF. So it basically is creating a scan by scan version of the PowerPoint. Now it looks like Martin Luther King is kind of off kilter there. I might have to fix that before. Here, let me cancel that really quick. Let's see here. I gotta fix this PowerPoint first. Come on here. It should be, there we go. I should be allowed to fix it. Let's see, move it over there. And I'm gonna bring his picture over there. Boy, my computer is grinding away, guys. This is tough on it. Hold on. There we go. Hopefully we can get that right in the middle. And that'll make my PDF much better. Here, let's make this picture fit. We want it to fit the space. Let's make Lyndon Johnson's picture smaller. Come on here. Oh boy. It is, like I said, my computer is grinding away. There we go. That's good enough. That'll work. Huh. Sometimes you just got to take it. You just gotta leave it alone, man. There we go. Come on, Lyndon Johnson, move down a little bit. All right, so we got those two on there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and print this up. Hopefully, we can get a print a file print here. There it is. Save as PDF. You just choose that instead of printing it. Hit save. And that will give us a PDF version of the document. We'll call it Civil Rights. I might have already done this. Civil rights study, I did. Oh, good. I'm gonna just do it like that. I did not know that I've already. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find that file and drag it in there. And I'm gonna put it inside this group. Here it is, Civil Rights Study. I think this is it right there. I'm gonna copy that into and upload it into. I do have better upload speed for sure. Yep, there we go. We got it. All right, I didn't even have to do the other one. Okay, so this one right here will be the official document. And that right there, let me open it up to make sure. And you'll see, look at how easy that moves now. I mean, that's a trick that you got to do. But sometimes you have to look through your document first, because when you turn it to a PDF, it messes up the formatting. And this one looks pretty good. Now, I'm not going to be able to click on anything. So if there's a clickable image or something, you're not going to be able to do that. So if you are working in a PDF, you lose its clickability. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm just gonna put this into. I'm gonna share this, and I'm gonna put it in our web page. I'm just gonna update it right now, so you guys have access to this. And I'll go in here, and we're gonna hit that right there. We're gonna hit Edit Post, and we're gonna put it into where that other link was. The things I do to help you guys out. We're doing good on time because I want to talk about that assignment. We just go down to the, let's see, key war events, civil rights chronology. You see this PowerPoint link right there? We're going to change that puppy right now. We're going to hit edit, and we're going to put the new one in there. We're going to apply that. And let's look at that one. Let's update it, and then we're going to look at it. Make sure it's the right link. What should happen now is we should have a PDF document that pops up when we click on that, and it will function for us online. So, like example, a case in point, um, what I'm working with you right now. Um, we can do that. Didn't you know your teacher was such a geek? I think you guys already knew that. Okay. All right. If you have questions, please, and they're hot in your and you're they're on your mind. Please bring those up. Here we go. Civil rights. Yep. There we go. We're good. All right. So we've got a working PowerPoint. All right. Okay. So this one, guys, will be really helpful to you. This one is where we're going to start, and you know, like I said, this is themed out, and we're going to basically look at it in pieces. So just understand that we're just going to slowly kind of work our way through this PowerPoint here. Starting with the Harlem Renaissance, and then we'll go to down here where it says segregation. We're going to hit the idea of segregation, because of course when the first laws came out, we're going to look at those early civil rights laws that were established during the presidency of first Abraham Lincoln and then President Johnson. Uh, they they didn't the South worked themselves around the law, and that's what we have to look at, is that the South never wanted to comply with the new national guidelines. So we're going to look at this. We're going to talk about segregation, and then we're going to look at school segregation specifically, which is kind of where everything starts. When you mess with kids, you create a lot of emotion. And the next little section would be the Montgomery boycott. We're going to look at the sit-in movement, and then the Freedom Riders, and then we're going to look at university desegregation, and then finally the March on Washington, all the way down to um, the Voter Registration Act. Okay, and it really ends. I would say that the sad end is the assassination in 1968 of Dr. Martin Luther King. Now we're going to look at how that connects to the Vietnam War, because they are so interconnected. All right, they are so connected. They are so parallel, that it makes no sense to not hit both. All right. Okay, so that's that. You know where we're going. You know kind of the direction that we're headed. Let's look at the Vietnam War's beginning really quick. Let's look at that whole idea. Look at assignment one, and take some of the mythology out of that. We're doing good time wise, guys. We finally caught up. So I'm going to go ahead and pop into assignment one. I just noticed that I don't have the fakey web page set up in my Canvas account. I'll do that for you guys. All I do is copy and paste my web in there. I just do this. I just pop one of these, and I don't even know how much this stuff is actually going to go in there. But I just go down there, copy, right about to there. Now it's here. I've already used enough area. You can copy that. Copy those images. Then I go into Canvas right here, and this is where it says pages. I'm just gonna I call it a fakey web page. So I'll go in there where it says Canvas Unit 7 Cold War page. I created a space for it, but I didn't put anything in it yet. Oh, no, that's Cold War. No, I did the Cold War. I just didn't do the Vietnam one. And I'll clean it up later. So you can see it's blank, it's empty. There it is. And I would hit. There it is. Now it's in there. I just pasted it in there. Oh, I guess I just got the first picture. Huh. That's not going to help us, but all right. It looks like I got everything selected. Copy all that. Let's see. Well, it looks like I put a bunch more stuff in there that time. There we go. Now a bunch of stuff's in there. Great Society, Civil War rights. All right. There's a bunch of stuff in there now. Now let's put that. I want that opening picture in there too. We got to have that stuff in there. All right. We'll leave it right there. I just want to save that right now while I've got a chance here to save. And we'll come back to that. That just takes some of the links in it. So if you just want to work inside of Canvas, that allows you to do that. If you remember, I set up a menu where it says Pages, where it can go inside of my inside of my little web page. So here we go. This is the semester timeline. If you go down here to Civil Rights, my little graphic is in the way. Hold on here. I got to get my little guys out of the way there. You see where all this stuff is right there? Here, move the guys over to the corner right there. You see if you click on the left side, this takes you to my personal web page. You click on the right side, it now takes you to the Canvas web page. So if you want to go to my personal web page, where pretty much I do all my updates first, you click on that side, and that brings you right back to where we were. All right, okay, we are good now. Here, I'm going to take my little people right here, move them over my head, get them out of the way. I just want to have a reminder, because if I have somebody come in from another stream time, they know what I'm talking about if I'm on World U.S. History or World Civ or whatever, because I got World Civ kids coming in just a few minutes. All right, let's look at the assignment really quick. And this is where I got a ton of assignments. What's a timeline? Okay, that's really what the question was. How do you do the timeline? I think everybody knows what a timeline is, but I think the problem is they didn't understand how I wanted it, and I totally understand that. I know that sometimes I can throw some things out there that can be a little bit confusing. So we're looking at the beginning of the Vietnam War. We're looking at the history of it. So when you do that, you can't always start with the time period where it most where it best fits in right now, because we'd like to start with an incident called the Gulf of Tonkin incident, but we have to figure out, how did we get to the Gulf of Tonkin? How did it get to the point where American destroyers were basically patrolling in the Gulf of Tonkin? Okay, and the Gulf of Tonkin basically sits between is in this little tiny area just in North Vietnam. We'll look at that. If you have grandparents, they would probably remember this happening. But let's go ahead and click on Vietnam War Begins. Hey, Adrian, thank you for popping in. If you have any questions, Adrian, just let me know. All right. I appreciate you coming in. I know you guys are struggling with me sometimes, and I hope that you're learning something different. I hope you're learning something new. This is some really interesting stuff. I think that this unit will really speak to a lot of us. It is a very powerful unit. All right. Okay. So this is the Vietnam conflict PowerPoint, and it starts with this guy right here. This guy, his name is Ho Chi Minh. That's how you say his name. Ho Chi Minh's kind of the grandfather of communism in Vietnam. He's the guy that starts the Communist Party there. Now, how the communists got to Vietnam is another story, because remember, the movement starts in the Soviet Union. It then escalates and it slowly kind of finds its way into China and to Chinese politics, and then it would find its way into Southeast Asian politics. Okay, so this guy Ho Chi Minh. And it's going to talk a little bit about this. Now, this date is wrong, by the way. This date right here, 1958, it's 1858. Indochina became a colony of France in 1858, not 1958. So the dates are all screwed up. So I will fix that, by the way. Right now it's stuck in a PDF, so I need a little patch over the top. But that should say 1858. So if you're confused by that, I apologize. I did not make that slide. Okay. So these are some of the events that kind of lead to that first, what we call that first conflict, that first conflicting resolution that would basically start the Vietnam War, called the Gulf of Tonkin resolution. Okay. Don't let this stuff get don't let it confuse you because you think it's hard. It's not. It's really easy stuff. The Vietnam War starts because Europeans are meddling in Asian affairs. Really, it's that simple. And the French basically do not want to leave Vietnam because it's a great resource for them. The French get rubber and all kinds of other natural resources. Oil comes from Southeast Asia. And they don't want to give it up. If you want to be an imperial power, you have to have colonies. But after World War II, that all changes because we start to establish laws and the United Nations kicks in and starts to make this activity look bad. It really frowns upon any of the big powers, okay, that were still trying to hold on overseas empires, okay, like Vietnam. The Vietnamese people don't appreciate it either. They just went through occupation by the Japanese and they want to be independent, okay? So you've got all this crap going on, all right? And what I want us to do is walk through some of the events from about 1945, where Ho Chi Minh organizes the Communist Party, to basically the 1964 event that would basically lead us into the attack of the USS destroyer Maddox. Okay, the Maddox is basically a United States naval ship. Okay, all right. So thank you, Adrian, for popping in. Really do. Okay. Hey, Adrian, any of my new students that pop in here, I'm gonna give you moderation power. Okay. All right. And what this does with great, I gave it to Emily. Emily can do the same thing. With moderation power, you have responsibility. Okay. So you've got now responsibility to basically help other people be responsible that also pop into the stream. All right. I hope it doesn't kick you guys out. Emily, I have no idea why it kicked you out. It must have looked at some kind of word connection because you did nothing wrong. So see, Emily, it says, is there a packet for this unit that we have to print off? No, you do not, Emily, you do not have to print off a packet. Okay. No packet. So I'm going to write that in on my chat stream. No, do not print out. That's another thing that I love about the internet. All right. Do not print out the packet. You do not have to. Packets are gone. Okay. We are now completely electronic. All right. I should put some music on in the background, shouldn't I? I wonder if I can. Probably kill my stream, huh? Yeah, let's not do that. All right. Game Shredder, hey, way to pop in. If you do pop in though with a gamer tag, make sure that you tell me who you are, please. Okay, I need to know who Gamer Shredder is. And I think everybody else wants to know who Gamer Shredder is. They might know, but I don't know. Okay, Zane, exactly. So when they pop in, please, yeah, please help those guys. I would like to know who you are. Plus, it's just nice. It's nice to kind of, if you do ask a question, I know the kid. I can get you guys. By this time, I have a lot of your pictures in my head. I have your faces that I still remember from school. So it's just nice to know that you're here and that you can participate. I appreciate that, guys. All right. Okay. So really quick, let's look at the assignment. Let's look at the timeline really fast here. So what I did is after I got a couple of questions, thank you. Thank you. And you can keep your Gamer Shredder / Zane. You can keep your gamer tag. I have no problem with that. Okay. All right. And now that I've moderated you, that means that I know who you are. All right. You have now been empowered to kick out people that are bad. So as a moderator, if anybody basically says anything profound or says anything gross, you can time them out. Okay. Put them in timeout for a few minutes. All right. Because sometimes I don't notice it right away. All right. Yes, I've got the power. You have the power now. So use it well. All right. All right. Well, let's not kick people out that we love. We love people, man. All right, let's make this a little bit. Right. Okay. It's nice to have kids finally pop in. I get lonely here on the stream. All right, so really quick, let's just look at the timeline. I just want to look at a timeline really fast. So this is all I'm asking you to do, is to take the dates. Now, you see where I put 1858? That's the date that Vietnam becomes a French colony. I just threw that in. It doesn't fit into the other part of the timeline, but I put it in anyways. So in 1940, the Japanese invade North Vietnam. Okay, they invade into Vietnam and they start to control it. That's another significant event. Okay, I feel cool now that I'm a moderator. Heck yeah! All right, but don't time each other out for fun. That's mean. All right. I don't think a moderator can time out another moderator. I don't think they can. So all right. So when you make your timeline, now it doesn't have to look like this, by the way. If you wanted to turn your paper like landscape, if you wanted to go landscapes, ways, that would be fine. And then, if you wanted to use a sheet, a Google sheet, use a Google sheet. Here's an example of a Google sheet. Here, since you guys are on here, I want to show you how you can do your timeline with a Google sheet. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and just make one up really quick. I'm going to go to there. I'm going to hit make a sheet. And this way it might even be easier to do your timelines this way. And yes, you should be able to send me a Google sheet. So here's a sheet. All right, I got to get my NDI source good so I can type this way on this computer. All right. Okay. So here's the Google sheet right here. So, here you go. Just it's still loading, guys. Everything's so slow. So I'm going to put Vietnam timeline. There we go. There's Vietnam timeline. And then of course you can put your dates across here, right here. So I'm gonna put right here. This will be 1858, and then this might be 1940 right here. Okay. And then down below in this little box, okay, we'll let this catch up to me. It's slow. You can type all the crap you want on these little boxes, right? And I think, let's see, if you want to go in here, you can go, let's see, get into this, let's see, define, let's see, product. It's been a while since I've, let's see, let's see, cells shift right. Yep. Anyway, you should be able to type in here and let's see, paste special. You should be able to write information in here. So let's see, Vietnam. So it basically types down. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to figure this out right now because it's been a while since I've done this. Come on here. Becomes a French colony. Now, see how it basically writes like that? Okay, you basically have to format the cell so it writes it down here. And I can't remember. Let's see. I can go like there, format. Let's see, align. Let's see, font size, text wrapping. I think it's text wrapping, overflow. Let's see, rotation. I can't. I can't remember which of these menu items. Let's see, theme. Let's see, conditional formatting. Oh boy. Oh, guys, if I can't figure this out, I'll bring it back to you. Um, let's see, cells. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. I've got another. I've got another. Let's see, format. Let's see, insert view. Let's see, I think it's in the format. I think plain text. Nope, that just tells it to basically see everything as text. Let's see, format. Let's see, align. Wrap. Oh, there we go. Wrap text. There we go. Okay, I just did it. So I had to go in here. I go into format, and then I go up your format, and I go down here, and where it says text wrapping, just go to wrap. Okay. What that does is it allows you to basically write in the entire cell. There we go. Sorry guys, it took me so long. 1940. What happened in 1940? I got to go back to my document. 1940, Japan invades. Now I redacted this, but this basically says Japan invaded Indochina in 1940. Okay, so that would be in my next one. So Japan invades 1940 to gain resources. All right. You could say to build its empire. Now I have to do this. I have to text wrap this one too. So I have to go down here. I have to go. Let's see, format. You just have to basically tell it to wrap text so it can fill your timeline up. But there it is right there. And of course you can adjust these. You can change the fonts. Okay, so I want to make this bigger so it has a big title. There's Vietnam timeline. All right. Okay, so that's just another way you can do this. All right. So when you're making your timeline, this might work a little bit better than 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 using a doc. Okay. I might go ahead and connect this up and use this next time. All right. Okay. So timelines. Is everybody good with timelines? Because that's all I'm asking you to do is to create this timeline. Let's go back to the assignment really quick because there's two parts to it. The second part is basically to watch the video. I know this is a boring video, but this guy is basically telling us basically that another country has basically attacked our ships. That the Maddox, an American destroyer, a destroyer is a small ship that basically is fast. Destroyers usually they usually are parts of convoys, usually of larger ships, battleships and aircraft carriers. But destroyers usually the smallest of them. But it was attacked by a torpedo boat, a North Vietnamese torpedo boat in the Gulf of Tonkin. And that's what he's saying is that we were attacked, so we attacked them back, and then we did a whole bunch of other things. So he gives you a list of responses that we make to North Vietnam for attacking an American ship in international water. Okay, so we'll come back to that idea, and that's what basically we use as justification to start the Vietnam War. All right, so that's it right there. All right. And that's the Gulf. They call it the Gulf of Tonkin speech. What justification does President give for attacking Vietnam? And we talked about the torpedo boat attacking our destroyer. What power is given to President Johnson as a result of this questionable act? He's now asking Congress for power. He's like, I need this power to do this. Okay. And then what is the mission of the United States in Vietnam? What are we trying to do in Vietnam? All right. So check that out. There's also a link right here where it says, look here for more. Okay, so finishing up today, this just brings you to a wiki page and it just gives you a history of Vietnam. Look at those dates. Okay. And then just kind of casually go through them. How does the history of Vietnam tie in with the United States? Okay. So you're looking for things like that. I don't know if the Gulf of Tonkin is in here, but you're going to find other things. Okay. And there's a lot of really cool links. All right. So look for dates that fall within the date range that we've discussed. Okay. Here's 1969. That's too late. So I'm going back here. 1949, right there. It says, let's see, a provisional central government was formed in 1948, reuniting. Let's see, reuniting Annan and Tonkin, but the complete reunification of Vietnam was delayed for a year because of problems posed by Cochin China's legal status. So Cochin China, French Cochin China, sometimes spelled Cochin China, was the colony of French Indochina, encompassing the Cochin China region of southern Vietnam, formerly called Cochin China. All right, anyway. So this is a really complicated place, isn't it? Anyway, Cochin China was what the French called it. They called the southern part of Vietnam. So, all right. Guys, this is really interesting stuff, and it will really help us because Vietnam is one of our allies today. But not that long ago, there were 60,000 Americans that had died in a war that happened there. And we want to make sure that that war is understood. Okay, so we're going to look at that because 60,000 Americans didn't die for nothing. They died for something, for a cause, for a reason. And we're going to look at that. Okay. All right. Okay. So make your timelines, guys. Remember, you can create, remember, put your name up here. So remember, if I'm going to name this timeline, I'm going to put in my last name, maybe my class period. Okay. And then I'm going to say Vietnam timeline. All right. If you wanted to use this method. All right. All right. I think I'm going to make a link to this one too. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys. So I'm going to link this to our website. I'm going to have to leave you in a few seconds here because I got to go talk to my World Civ kids. But I really appreciate you guys showing up. Game Shredder, Adrian, glad you, and Emily. So glad you guys showed up. Anybody else that's basically out there that's just listening in? I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't send out my. I didn't. I did put it on Twitter though. I think it's easier, guys, for me to put the stream link on Twitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make this available to you guys publicly. Okay, and then I'm gonna go and I will link this to our webpage. So you guys can check this out. So we'll go ahead and copy that link. I'm going to go to our Vietnam. Now I'm going to put in here where it says example timeline. I'm going to put that in here so you guys will have that too. So you guys that are watching today will have two different ways of doing your assignment. If you have any problems uploading that document style, just let me know. I think it should load. I don't know of any reason why it should not. So where it says example timeline, I am going to put in one right here. Let's see. I'm going to put this example 2. And this one will have this is all right. So this one here, example 2, will bring you to let me save that really quick. That will bring you to the other version. All right, guys, I'm going to have to shut her down for you guys. Let's go ahead and shut that down. Let's go ahead and shut that down. I got way too many things opening up right now. Shut some things off here. Let's turn that off. Let's go off that. Let's see. We got that on there. That's okay. I don't need any of that stuff on. It says we're still okay. So here, let me double check. Check that in a minute. All right. Okay. So here we go, guys. This is when I gotta take off. But U.S. history kids, get your timelines done. I probably will post another assignment. Okay. And know that assignment is coming. Alrighty. So take it easy. Appreciate you guys popping in and have a great afternoon. Alrighty, we are back. Of course, my lighting is all screwed up again. That's okay. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go studio background and get rid of my lighting system. What do you think? Just go with regular studio background. That means I got to make. Oh, good. We got a good healthy stream. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for green. Thursday next week we should have a gigabit stream, so we should be good. Now I might have to go back down to 720 because I think not everybody's computers like a 1080 stream. Um, so we'll make that work out. We'll see. We'll find out. Sometimes if you want something fancy, it's not always the best thing. So we're gonna check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and default my video here. Looks like sometimes it helps it a little bit. Trying to fix the properties of this is how I started the day, guys. I started it with all kinds of issues in my lighting, in my chroma key specifically, making small adjustments. It's fun to chroma key your studio though. It makes it look a little bit more has a little bit more. There's some smooth there. Oh well. Sometimes you just gotta leave it alone. Default isn't good, by the way. All right. But I did move this light. This key light here is kind of here. One second. Let's do that. I'll take that shadow out. Maybe not. All right. Okay. All right. Let's close that up. Oh, it's even worse. Oh, I just don't know. It is just a mess. It is an absolute disaster. Okay. Disaster today. I had it so perfect earlier. Right. Okay. World Civ. Game Shredder still hanging out. Going to hang out for our World Civ class. Fine with me. School. More school, the better. The more school, the better. Let's go ahead. Auto brightness. Now, I could zoom in. There we go. There we go. I'll just zoom in a little bit. That fixed it. Apply. Good. All right. There we go. Just a little bit of a zoom. That helped a little bit. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that stuff. Okay, World Civ up and we want to lay out the new unit for the World Civ kits. So we're basically looking at we'll finish up the year with the Golden Age. The Golden Age The golden age is basically what they call the height of these cultures. Okay, the height of the part of those cultures that everybody remembers. Okay, it's kind of like, oh, do you remember back in the day when everything was perfect? That's what a golden age would be. Okay, it would be that time where everything was wonderful and perfect, and everything was peachy, and that's and of course where your civilization is best remembered. It could be by technology. It could be from a point of when your civilization was at its height militarily. It controlled land. How people remembered it. People look at how others basically viewed your culture. So those are what we consider to be golden ages. So that is what we are going to. That is where we are going. Where we're going. Let's go like that. Oh, that's bad, guys. I'm still trying to mess with my. I'm still trying to mess with my settings. Oh, I am crazy, guys. I am nuts. I am nuts with trying to get things right. What I need to do, and what I need to do is just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. But it's definitely a lighting issue, and I just don't know how to fix it. It's it's on that back edge too. So it's that edge over there. And you'd think that I could fix that. You'd think that I could. All right. You'd think that I could fix it. Oh boy. All right. Okay, so let's go back. Let's get back to our discussion. So so what we want to do is we want to establish the end of one culture and the beginning of others. So the one thing that hasn't happened yet that we want to make sure that we have happen for this unit is we have to figure out how to get rid of the Romans, okay? Because the Romans are still there. They haven't left anywhere. They're still around. They're having trouble. Their neighborhood is being ransacked by vandals and by Goths and all other kinds of people that are basically roaming the Western Empire at that time. And but the Romans they're still surviving. Their culture's large. There are still many people that like the idea of being Roman, and the this issue of Christianity is once again rearing its head in Roman society. So that's kind of where we're at. So what I want to do is look at this group of people called the Byzantines, and today the Byzantines have been replaced with what we call modern day Turkey. So the Byzantines would eventually evolve into what we call Turkey today. After the Byzantines are overthrown, it would basically create, an empire that would be replaced from Christians to Islamic forces that attack from the east. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So let's look at our assignments. So let's go on to. Let me just double check my stream here. We're still green. That's good. We got green is good. And we're going to open up Canvas really quick. So let's check out Canvas. We will check out Canvas. All right. How can you eliminate a shadow if you want to eliminate a shadow? Just a small amount of a shadow. I'm working on it still. Trying to eliminate a shadow. Still not giving up. Yeah, one of that. I want to turn off this. Let me turn off my autofocus too. That's the other thing that's bugging me. My autofocus. Oh, that helped. Hmm. All right. Took my auto exposure and turned that off. All right. Apply. All right. That little jump made a big difference. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at um, let's go pop into our World Civ assignment for this unit. Oh, we got all this stuff going on here. All right, moving on here. Those are all messages that pop in the AB schedule message. These are from Washington County. All right, let's go down here. Byzantine Empire. All right. So let me send out, guys. I need to send out a message too. So give me a second. I need to do one more thing. I want to send a message out to my sophomores and see if we can get a couple more people in here. Let's send a message. Let's send our stream out here. I've got to get the hold on. I gotta copy my stream link here. Right there, and we're gonna send out a message to these guys. Let's go to World Civ Kids. Let's send it to students. Of course, parents can jump in. We have no problem with that. Let's see, live. This is my live stream info link. Let's go right there, send individual messages, and send that out. And we'll send that. All right. Okay. So hopefully that gets out. It's also on Twitter. Guys, the easiest place to get to my stream is just to go to the Twitter, page and just click on the link there. So much faster. I think I'm going to send out an email this week and just to get that so I don't have to mess with that. And we know that, guys, we should get in the habit of knowing the live streams are going to be on Tuesday. I am willing to live stream another day other than Tuesday for a few minutes. So if you need me to go over an assignment and you have a specific time, I'll just pop in. All right. I have no problem with that. Guys, I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you. You're my students, and I am at your beck and call, remember. All right. It's so nice to be able to help you guys and not have to sit and preach at you every day. You know, I can just like react to your needs as opposed to doing everything for you all the time like I was doing. All right. All right. Byzantine Empire. Let's go and look at that. The Byzantines, who were they? So what we want to look at is we want to look at the division of the Roman Empire, and they call the Great Schism. Okay. And we'll look at that, or schism, or whatever you want to call it. The division of the Roman Empire into east and west. Okay. So this PowerPoint talks about that. It talks about this emperor. His name is Justinian, and it talks a little bit about Justinian's, being the Roman emperor and wanting to bring back the greatness of Rome. But instead of doing it in Rome, he moved his capital to Constantinople, which was basically the city that was named after the Emperor Constantine, emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire. So there it is, the division. Now you can see here, this just basically shows you all the invasions going on by Western and Vandals, and how it's very difficult for those invaders to invade into the Eastern Empire. It's much, much more protected. So this basically image was basically placed here to describe how the Eastern Empire survived, and it was based on trade and markets. They are sitting in the middle of a massive trade empire. So if you want to look at this map here, it sits right at the isthmus of trade that separates Eastern Europe and the Far East. If you want to go to, into India, you want to go into China, you want to go into the East, you have to go through Constantinople. It's a trade route. Okay. Plus you've got the sea route that goes through there. You've got the Red Sea, and it's just a perfect location. Justinian rules from 527 to 565. He expands the Byzantine Empire back into Europe. He tries to regain those lands that were being lost. Okay. And he tries to bring back different things using this new power that he has through Christianity. Okay. And we'll look at that. And this group is going to thrive under his rule. And that's what this goes over. The building of big Roman buildings like the Hagia Sophia Church. So this whole unit section is on the advancement by Justinian by this group, which we call the Byzantines. Okay. So what I'm asking you to do is to fill this chart out right here. Hopefully everybody is having, nobody's having any problems filling out this chart. I gotta wear black next time. I forget that I've got a white background. All right. So if you're having trouble moving this chart around, let me know. I'm hoping that all you're going to do is pop it out by clicking this right here. That's what I meant by pop it out. So it says use the chart below, fill out the information in a PDF above. Pop out the document, upper right-hand corner right here, pop it out. Go hit that. And when you pop it out, you should be able to open it right here. Open it as a Google Doc. There you go. Now you got this Google Doc sitting in front of you on your computer. So nice. Now, it's not quite on your computer yet. What I want you to do is go up to File, make a copy. Bam. Just like that. And I'm going to call it Mr. Goebel, Mr. Goebel's Byzantine sheet. There we go. And then I can say my class is A2. There we go. There's Mr. Goebel's Byzantine sheet A2. Hit OK. And bam, now I have this sheet on my computer. And all I have to do is share it with me now later when I get it done filling it out. So it's creating this sheet for me. And there it is. Now I can type on it. I can basically do anything I need. So I can type in my answers. And now I didn't give you a ton of space there, did I? And that can be a good thing. So don't type so much crap that you don't need to type. So who was Justinian? What were some of his achievements that he had made? Okay, Justinian was a Roman emperor, and that he tried to reunify the Eastern and Western Rome. There you go. Enough, right? So go through that. And you got Byzantine art and architecture. We got the Hagia Sophia right here, the Hagia Sophia, which is a massively cool, awesome, Roman slash. Let me turn that off right there. The Hagia Sophia is this massively awesome Roman style building. Look, it's got everything that the Romans were really good at. It's got massive arches. Look at that. And this huge dome on the top. The most amazing thing about this church, not only was it burned down several times and rebuilt, but it basically sits on an earthquake zone. So this thing has just humongous walls. If you look at the middle of this building right here, it's all concrete. It's all concrete and stone. It's just massive chunk of stone. And it holds up this huge, huge dome. All right. So the Hagia Sophia, just totally Roman. And sitting at the top is a crucifix. Okay. Remember, Justinian had basically given himself to the Christian religion. Here is that same building not that long after. And of course, you can see the changes that were made under control of the Muslims that would basically invade and take Constantinople in 1453 and change its name to what they call it today, Istanbul, Turkey. Okay. So anyways, go through these pictures. Look at the inside of that building. Isn't that beautiful? Just gorgeous. It's a combination of Islamic and Christian reliefs and murals. It's just gorgeous. And of course, the Islamic. Now, this is actually run by Turkey today. They basically, it's a historic site for obvious reasons. Now, there's this beautiful Byzantine mosaic of Justinian, so we know what he looks like. But this gives you, these are some of the answers to those questions. So, Eastern Orthodoxy, and it says explain 3 ways which the Roman Church differed from Byzantines. Okay, and that's where you go through this, and there's your differences. Like, for example, the Romans called their highest church official the Pope, and the Eastern Orthodox Christians that they divide into the Patriarch. Now, when the Eastern and Western Roman empires separate, so does Christianity. Okay. So if you want to know why the Eastern, there's a religion that's very much like Catholicism in the eastern part of Europe called Eastern Orthodox, and you've got Roman Catholics, this is when it happens. It happens during the time they call it the Great Schism, okay, or schism, however you want to describe it, okay. And it's basically the separation of the Eastern and Western Roman Empire. This would be where the Eastern Orthodox Church would establish itself, and the Western church under the Roman Catholics. All righty. So here, and then of course you've got this whole other event that occurs. So go through these slides. There's some Byzantine icons. Okay. It says here, schism, split over icons, idols, and religious objects. The Western Roman Church tended to hold on to the symbolism of Catholicism, where the Eastern part of the Church would uh, would would kind of dispense with that, with the formality of what they call, I guess, idol worship, that kind of stuff. Okay. Anyway, there's our geography. So the area we're looking at geographically is this area right in here. There's Turkey, and there in that section right in there. Hopefully, you can see this cursor moving around, but that section right in there. I added a bunch of other sheets into this PDF. The Code of Justinian, some Byzantine law examples, how the alphabet, the Cyrillic alphabet, comes to be. Now, look at the Cyrillic alphabet. Look at how close it is to the Latin alphabet. Okay, there's Latin and Cyrillic right there. Shows you the differences of the two. So if you go to different places, there's Byzantine learning. It talks about their philosophy, and then the fall of Constantinople in 1453. Okay. Now, any information that you are not able to find, okay, I think we have it right there. The alphabet learning, the fall of the empire. This was pretty easy. So fill that out. I think you guys will get this done just fine. So, but that's all you've got to do, guys. Copy that in, write in your answers now, okay, and when you're done, turn it in, okay. Um, if so, any other questions about this specific assignment? I'm just going to move down the list. Now, remember what still applies. Okay, guys, my website site still applies. It is going to be helpful. We are going to go through these different things down here. We're going to look at the golden age of Islam. I'm going to assign you a video. Hopefully, I can get the video to work. Because the video that I've got, I actually bought the actual video, but my problem now is I can't get it on the internet because the internet basically it's a copyright issue. So I'll figure out how to get that. But the golden age of Muslims, we're going to look at that. We're going to look at Islam and its followers. So we're going to get finally the picture of Islam. We've looked at Christianity. Now we're going to look at Islam. And I'd like to watch this video, 30 Days of Muslim. It's good. Now, the African trade map, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I want us to look at African trade empires. Maybe I'll have you make this map and then ask you some questions about it. Maybe simplify the process. But I really love this map. I love the story that I tell with it. It is such a good example, and it's I guess I can take my next live stream and go over it. But I got to figure out how I'm going to present it to you when we look at Africa and African trade kingdoms, because there was a golden age of Africa that we don't know anything about. We look at Africa today kind of as being backwards, and we look at it being low technology and their inability to basically keep up with the modern world. But at one time, North Africa basically led the world in trade of a couple of different things. It led the world in trade of salt, gold, and iron. We look at that trade triangle, and of course, the slavery issue that came up after many generations later. But slavery has been part of the African subcontinent for a long time. So we'll look at that. Let's go ahead and let me try to get out of that image here. I've got too many things opened up right now. I'm trying to scale through it here. So let's go into what the other thing that we want to cover in here. We got African trade. Is India. We're going to come back to India once again. And we're going to look at India from the standpoint that India is today. We're going to look at where, for example, two great religions would spawn: Hinduism and Buddhism. So we're going to look at that. So you'll spend a little time. And then we're going to finish up the unit with the Song and Tang dynasties. We're going to look at China. Okay. We'll look at Chinese technology. We'll look at China as an engineering empire, as a world and global power, like it's trying to be today. It's you could say that China is trying to bring back this golden age. They want this. They want this identity back. All right. Okay. So that's guys. That's everything from a World Civ standpoint. That's the assignment. I don't do not be alarmed if I throw another assignment at you this week. I think this was a pretty easy assignment, but I'm kind of like I'm trying to gauge it. I did put a poll up on Twitter. I'd appreciate if you would participate in this poll. But this is my Twitter poll I put in. Let me just go the other day, and it says right here. It says student poll. It says student poll. Please help. Are you getting enough work? Yes, about right. No, I'm still bored. Or yes, slow down. Okay. I'm gonna go put. I would click on yes, but I'm not gonna participate in my own poll. Okay. But I'm looking for some information on that right now. We've got slow down. I'm doing too much, and I can guarantee that's just. I don't know how we got 6 votes. I'm gonna wait for a few more votes. So I'll wait for a few more votes. We're gonna wait until. But I will take guys. I will slow down if we have to. Not a problem. I feel like I'm just going like at a snail's pace right now as it is. All right. So if there's no questions on this sheet, okay, this Byzantine sheet, remember the steps that I basically walk through. Okay. One, let me just go down to here, pop it out. Two, open it up as a Google Doc. Okay. So pop it out, bang, like that. Step two, once it's popped out, we're just going to make 100 of these. All right. So once it gets popped out here, you see where it says it's a Word doc. We want to make sure we open it as a Google Doc. Okay. Open it up as a Google Doc. And then you should basically have this. Remember, it doesn't say your name on it. It'll say copy of mine. Remember, go to File, make a copy. Okay. And that will copy it onto your Google platform. Okay. That copies it into your Google world where you can type on it, manipulate it. Then you're going to relink it and send it to me in the assignments page. So let's go there. Let's go to the assignment. Let's go to here. Let me get this U.S. history thing. Holy crap. I still got the U.S. history icon on my head. That should say World Civ, right? Let's click that one off. Let's get that sucker off there. Okay. Um, so, so in here, let's go to, here. I'm gonna open it as a student. So you can see the student version. There we go, student view. All right. And then here's our Byzantine Empire right there. I know I put a lot of points on here, but guys, I'm giving away points for free, basically. All right, let's go here. And yes, where it says submit, remember, okay? Click submit. Google Drive, remember, always click from your Google Drive. Always pull assignments out of your Google Drive. Okay. You'll click on that, and then all of your assignments should show up in Google Drive. All right. It's not going to show up now because I'm in student view and I can't do that in student view. Okay. So go into Google Drive, and inside of Google Drive, you're going to find your file. Link it to me, and you are done. Okay. So nice. All right. I'm going to start grading through those today. I'm going to go ahead and kind of finish things up. But I'm going to start going through that stuff today, guys. So just be prepared. If I do give you some info, I will refer back to I will refer you back to this video. Make sure that if you're having trouble, go back to the video, go to the last hour of the show, right? Or the last hour of the class, and that should have those instructions. Walk through those instructions. If they're not working for you, let me know. Okay. Let me know if those instructions are not working for you. All right. All righty. That's it, guys. I think we're done. I don't think I have to add anything else. I mean, I think I've covered everything. The only thing I guess I haven't said is I hope you guys are doing well. I hope that everything at home is going okay. I do not know where we are going in the next week or two. I'm guessing that we are going to be in the same boat that we're in today. And I'm planning that way. I'm planning at finishing the year this way. So the more you get involved in the process of us trying to finish this way, the easier it's going to be. Because if we ever have to go back to school, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably going to keep doing this. I'm going to finish it out on the Chromebooks. So you just embrace it, guys. Embrace it, love it. Okay. Use those resources that we have available. Find yourself an old laptop. If you're looking for a laptop, go on to onto Facebook. Go into the Facebook Marketplace. Look for one if you can find an old gaming computer. Old gaming computers are perfect for this kind of stuff. So if you can, get your hands on an old, some gaming computer, some kids kind of trying to get rid of because they're cheap. You can get them for, your family can get them for really reasonable prices. So I'm using two 10-year-old computers. These computers used to be my kids' computers way back in the day when they were 12 and stuff like that. So they're very old and they work just fine. So if you need to use the resources at our school, if you need to go to school, call in, set up an appointment. They need appointments so they can be prepared for you coming, so they can have everything ready, so you don't have to wait. We want to reduce the contact, and they can provide you with whatever you need. Say you need a Chromebook really quick. Chromebooks are perfect for this. It keeps you in the world you need to be in. Sometimes laptops, PCs tend to move you in a direction that makes it a little more difficult. But if you got a Chromebook, you have to work within the Chromebook environment. So use a Chromebook if at all possible, or a Chrome-based, tablet computer of some kind. All right. But participate in my poll, please. That poll is helpful. If I don't get more votes, I'm going to follow the poll. Okay, I've got to follow the direction that people are leading me. All right, guys, that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chill out at this point. I've got a lot of work to do this afternoon. I got to go through assignments, see that everybody's going in the right direction. I can actually look through a couple of assignments right now. I've got a few in. Let me see if there's any World Civ assignments that are turned in. Let's see, Byzantine. Yeah, we got a few of you guys turn in work. Let's see what we got. Let's see how it's coming in. Very nice. Nicely done. So Amelia Barnes had submitted an assignment and looks excellent. It seems like everything's working. I don't mind that you get an overflow of your form. Let's see if I can get that you can get that. Yeah, it's too, let's see if I can, let me see if I can, you see that. Nope, that's not showing up. Too much white. But it's okay. If your form overflows into the next page, I don't mind that. But this looks really good. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, the last question of the fall of the Byzantine Empire, there's actually a sheet. I might even let you slide on that one. It asks you, according to the song. I did not publish the song. I do have the song though. I did not publish it, so I'm gonna let that one slide. I have to let certain things slide, guys. It's just not everything works out perfect every time. So I would say that that's a good job. So, so Amelia, I'm looking. That's Emilia. That's good. Let's see. Let's look at another assignment popping in. I'm just looking at some assignments that have been turned in. Dylan Becker turned one in. Let's see what Dylan's looks like. Let's see. Let's see. That looks good there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm just happy some of you guys are able to get the document over. You know, sometimes you just have to have little victories. So good. So those are some good examples. I got a couple of kids that have been able to do it, and that's all I'm looking for. All right, guys, I gotta go. You guys gotta go. It's a long day. It's 11:49. I usually get done about 11:45. Today I started a little later, but it looks like we had plenty of time to get done with what we needed. I appreciate all those kids that popped in from my U.S. history class. And guys, feel free to pop in. Now, my messaging system has not been working the way I thought it would work. Just go ahead and email me if you have issues. I was hoping that you would be able to comment in the video, but this one should work out that way. We should be able to get video comments. This is the, let's see, test stream for today. So when I close this down, there we go. When I yeah when I close this down for today, it should open up the comment section. So, all right, guys, later. Have a good one. The world is not falling apart. We are managing very well, and I miss you guys. I really do. It's not the same working from a chair. I'm getting all antsy. It's more fun to have students and have real people with real problems and everyday stuff going on. But right now, we're not in that situation where we can do that. But hopefully, we're managing. Okay, and I appreciate and I miss you guys. I do want you to know that it's not fun being a teacher and not have real students. I really was excited. I had a couple of kids pop in on my live chat today, which is really nice. I really like that. So you guys that did that, I really enjoyed that. Um, Try to get some of your friends on with you if you can. Let them know how it works. Basically, we can teach each other. You know, we can help each other make this work even better. The longer it goes, I'm hoping the more I'm going to get involvement on online time. So we'll see you guys. Have a great afternoon, and bye.